Thanks. Two Washington County residents say they are guilty of animal cruelty. Robert and Elaine Maltese were arrested in 2024 for beating and stabbing their neighbor's 16-year-old dog. Robert Maltese will serve 4 additional months in jail, and Elaine Maltese will serve 400 hours of community service. Both were also sentenced to 6 years probation. You can read the full details on our website at 5newsonline.com. Reports of scams draining EBT accounts have increased across Arkansas, and with more victims coming forward, the Department of Human Services is now urging more than ever that you protect yourself against these scammers. Catherine Rowley lays out the important steps families need to take right away as food stamps have become an easy target.
It's been happening across the country for a couple of years, but we have noticed an increase in the number of people who've notified us that it happened to them.
EBT scams are not new to the Department of Human Services in Arkansas. Cases have also been reported in several states like Texas, California, and Georgia. With an increase in reports in just the month of July, Mary Franklin, the Director of Division of County Operations for DHS, is urging EBT holders to change the PIN on their card.
We recommend that you not use common pins, but also things like maybe your month and day of your birthday, or the numbers of your address or your phone number. Just don't choose things that someone could easily associate with you.
In 2019, EBT shoppers were able to start using their cards to shop online through Amazon, Walmart, or other major retailers. And with new access online for goods, scammers also had new access to information.
If you shop online, to not save your EBT card information online. Not saying don't shop online, just don't save your card's information online.
Unlike your credit card from your bank where you could get called and notified, EBT cards aren't monitored. The money is out of the account before the cardholder is notified. While there isn't a set number, the reported cases are in the hundreds, but those who have been scammed could be higher.
We did launch an online form so that clients can report that to us, and we've had about 350 voluntarily report that it's happened to them since we opened up that avenue.
In the past, skimming has been the preferred method of fraud for criminals, but with the increase in advancing technology means an increase in scams.
There are bots and things like that, that can attempt to call the automated numbers for cards to be replaced. It's more than one. We believe it's more than one possible way.
DHS told me that there's no indication of a hack or a data breach within the agency, but what can you do if you are an EBT cardholder who has been impacted once by scams to prevent it from happening again? It all goes back to your PIN.
If it goes undetected, the theft could happen more than once. If the beneficiary does not know that their card was cloned and that they had benefits taken and their PIN number remains the same, then the card is vulnerable to be attacked again.
Meantime, Washington County says it's time to move forward after a months-long investigation into alleged misuse of public resources. We first told you about this last Friday. Now, the Washington County Sheriff's Office faced allegations of misused funds and property. County Judge's Office decided to launch its own investigation, which is now closed. County Judge Patrick Deakins, though, says the office is not seeking a civil lawsuit. Instead, says he hopes this serves as a turning point.
What we've decided is we're ready to move forward with policy reforms. We're ready to put this behind us. If a specific taxpayer wants to seek action, that will be up to them and what they find appropriate. The most important thing we can do is come back as one county right now, try to put this behind us and give the taxpayers the feeling that we are taking immediate actions to make sure this never happens again.
Judge Deakins says the goal now is to unite the county, make sure the trust is maintained with deputies who remain committed to serving the public. Virtual doctor's appointments gained a lot of popularity during COVID, and now researchers say it could play a big and lasting role in saving lives. A new study out of UAMS shows virtual health care could be key in closing dangerous gaps in postpartum care, especially in Arkansas, where the maternal mortality rate is the highest in the country. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer tells us what researchers found and how it could save lives.
New mother's journey doesn't end after delivery, but in many cases, the care does. In Arkansas, where nearly half of the counties have no maternity care at all, researchers at UAMS say digital tools could be life-saving.
We're a state that has really struggled in terms of maternal health. Our outcomes are, definitely not where we'd like them to be.
A new study found postpartum moms who got any virtual care were more likely to be screened for smoking, abuse, and depression, factors that can be linked to pregnancy-associated deaths, which are most often caused by suicide, substance use, and homicide.
Those screenings really become critically important for intervening on those outcomes and hopefully improving maternal health overall.
Researchers say telehealth helps cut through barriers like transportation and childcare, and virtual visits make it easier for moms to open up about difficult topics.
You could choose to have your camera off, or you can choose where you're at in your house to have that discussion.
Now they're urging providers to consistently offer these screenings. UAMS researchers say 9 out of 10 maternal deaths in Arkansas are preventable. They hope virtual care can help close the gap, especially in underserved and rural communities.
Our suggestion isn't to have it be a replacement for in-person visits, but that it be a valuable addition to a broader postpartum care strategy.
Covering news where you live, Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders recently announced the Healthy Moms, Healthy Babies Act, aimed at improving access to maternal care across Arkansas through expanded telemedicine, increased Medicaid support, and stronger postpartum services. The mayor of Paris has decided to temporarily place the Paris Police Department in a different location. This after the council voted today to keep the department right where it is. City held a town hall for the people to come out in support of better conditions for their officers, and many did. An architect says a council proposal to tear down and rebuild the new department at the current location would cost about $1.5 million, take about 1.5 years to complete, and would require officers to relocate twice during this whole process.
I think the critical thing for everyone to understand is the safety of the police officers here in Paris. And having just right off the bat, a safe, secure building needs to be one of their least worries.
Well, now the police department will move to this old armory building in town until the city is approved for a $1.5 million grant to pay for reconstruction at its current building. City Council member Tanya Fletcher says they won't know if they're going to get that until sometime this fall. President Trump used a press opportunity in the Oval Office today to accuse former President Obama of treason. Erica Brown says this comes as the Justice Department has reached out to longtime Jeffrey Epstein associate and convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell about scheduling a meeting.
President Trump welcomed the president of the Philippines to the White House Tuesday, but in the Oval Office, talk quickly turned away from trade, with the president accusing former President Barack Obama of treason, telling reporters he was responsible for leading what Trump has called the Russia hoax in 2016.
They tried to steal the election.
A spokesperson for Obama responded, calling Trump's allegations, quote, ridiculous and a weak attempt at a distraction. President Trump made the accusations against Obama shortly after he was asked about the Justice Department working to schedule a meeting with a longtime Jeffrey Epstein associate and convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell. The president says he thinks it's appropriate that his Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, is reaching out to Maxwell.
He's a very talented person. He's very smart. I didn't know that they were going to do it.
This comes as Speaker Mike Johnson announced he is ending the House session early for summer break to head off Democrats' calls for votes for greater transparency into the Epstein investigation. Among those pressing for more disclosure about Epstein, Kentucky Republican Thomas Massey.
I mean, people have wanted these files for years. And then, the president's staff, administration, his own children, his vice president have promised that these files would come out, and now we're being told it's a hoax. It doesn't wash.
Massey said the lack of transparency is costing the president.
He is eroding his base. More importantly, if we don't take the right side of this issue, it's going to cost us votes in the midterms.
The Deputy Attorney General says the Justice Department expects to speak with Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell in the coming days. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Maxwell is serving a 20-year prison term for sex trafficking. CocaCola is releasing a new beverage product with cane sugar this fall. It'll be sold alongside Coke's original soda that uses high fructose corn syrup. The move follows a social media post from President Trump last week in which he claimed he persuaded Coke to use cane sugar in its Coca-Cola drinks. Corn syrup is a more common and less expensive sweetener in the U.S., but nutritionists say cane sugar in soda isn't healthy either.